to Math PBA 1 video presentation of word problems starting by group OA to the power of 4. So today, there will be 4 professors, Rain Abela, which is me, Ina ng Bayan, which is Raina Escar, Sean De Vera or Sean Mendez, and Mika Legaspi. So, for question 1, for the first 10 kilometers of travel, a bus fare would charge 30 pesos and 2.50 pesos for each additional kilometer over the proposed fare. A. Find the fare function, where x represents the number of kilometers traveled, and B. Find the proposed fare for a distance of 30 kilometers. So let's have Professor Sean to explain question number 1 for us.
Hi guys, welcome to my review of question 1. And I sound harsh because I am sick. So let's get started with it. For the first question, it says that for the first 10 kilometers of travel, a bus fare would charge 30 pesos, which is expensive, and an additional of 2 pesos and 50 cents for each additional kilometer over the proposed fare. And from this question, we have 2 things to answer from. A. Find the fare function fx, where x represents the number of kilometers traveled. And B. Find the fare for a distance of 30 kilometers. For A, the fare function, we have to understand the question fx, which is the distance. Let's use inequality. I think that's the correct one. Inequality for this one. So it says that for the first 10 km of travel, a bus fare would charge 30 pesos. So let's write 30 pesos if you have traveled x is the distance less than or equal to 10 km traveled. Okay, so that's the first function. Wow, amazing. And what happens if we travel over the proposed first 10 kilometers? So let's write 30 pesos. 30 pesos plus an additional 2.5 pesos multiplied for each additional kilometer. So we multiplied 2.5 for each additional kilometer as x, since it is the distance. Since we already have the 30 here, which is 10 km already, we minus 10 km here for the additional kilometers. So total kilometers will be deducted automatically. I know, very smart that we deducted early. Okay, this would represent x is greater than 10 km. Wow. If we have traveled less than or equal to 10 kilometers, we pay 30 pesos. And 30 pesos. And if we travel over the 10 km, we would pay an additional 2.5 pesos for each additional kilometer. So that will be over 10 km. That is the fare function. Find the proposed fare of 30 km. So what represents km again? It's x. So x is 30. We know that it's over 10 km. So from the functions we made, what would we use? The second one, since it's over 10 km, f is 30 equals to 30 plus 2.5 pesos and x minus 10. So our x is 30. So what do we do with the x? We plot it in. Very easy, yeah. So 30 plus 2.5 multiplied what do we multiply with? X. So what is the value of X? 30. 30, so we plug in to the X part. So 30 minus 10 km. How do we solve this? What is the general rule that we follow? From my tuition center, we use one rule, M does. So M does. What is M does? M is multiply. D is divide. Oh my god, divide. A is add. S is subtract. From the rule, we multiply first. So 30 plus 2.5 multiplied by 30. If you're smart, use your head. If you don't know, cannot use calculator. If you want to make your life harder, you will write. So 2.50 multiplied by 30. 7500. What do we do next? See, you forgot. It's a decimal. So there's two positions. Ones, tens. That's where we put. So 75. 30 plus 75 minus 10. And so 2.5 minus 10. Very easy, minus 25. I smart. So 30 plus 75 minus 25. You already know the answer. Very easy, 50. 30 plus 50. 80. So 80. If we have traveled 30 kilometers, we pay 80 pesos. So from there, very easy. I'll see you in the next question. Bye bye.
Thank you, Sean, for explaining question 1, and I hope that you guys get it. If not, you should ask questions or email us. Next is question 2. John charges 500 pesos every page of encoding work. In addition, he charges 15 pesos per page of printed output. A. Write the function rule that will provide the amount of C for P encoded pages. And how much will John charge 50-page encoding and printing output? Let's have me, Rain Avila, to explain question number 2.
My name is Rain Avila, and today I'm going to explain question 2. Question 2, I mean. So, before we start, you might get confused about the different videos because one, right, which is I'm doing right now, I'm going to explain the second question. There's another part where I'm going to explain another category of this question. So this is future rain, and the other rain is from weeks ago. Anyways, let's begin. Question 2. John charges 500 pesos every page of encoding. In addition, he charges 15 pesos per page of printed output. In category A, it says, write the function rule that will provide the amount of C for P encoded pages. So John will be paying 2 charges, one for every page and one for every output. We can denote that P equals the number of pages and C equals the total charge. We may also assign a letter for 500 pesos since the charge for every page is 500 pesos in the question, and the charge per page of printed output is 15 pesos. So let's say letter A equals 500 pesos and B equals 15 pesos. The functional equation will be C equals AP plus BP. So that will be our function equation for category A. We will add AP and BP since this is the total charge that John should pay. But before we do that, what is A and B? They're already here. A equals 500 pesos and B equals 15 pesos. 500B plus, replace B to 15, 15p. Add 500p plus 15p together, you get 515p, and that is the total charge that John should pay. Let us focus on letter B, which says how much will John charge 50 page encoding and printing output. So let B equals to 50 pages because in the question it says 50 page, and let C equal to 515p. Now let's solve it here. C equals 515 times 50 pages. Where on earth did I get 50? I got it from P since it says P equals 50 pages. So replace letter P or replace P by 50. So 515 times 50. These are all zero. So 5, 7, 25. C equals 25,750. And let's write our concluding statement. So that is all. Thank you, and let's go to question number 3.
So that will be question number 2. Now let's go to question number 3. An airport bus driver estimates that 33 pages are transported from Naiya to the Hilton Hotel. He charges a flat rate of 500 pesos. Moreover, he estimates that for every 35 pesos increase in his rate, he will lose 10 passengers. A. Write a function rule that describes the operators after increasing his rate. Let's have Professor Sean to explain question number 3 for us.
Hi guys, it's me again. So, we're now doing question 3. What are we gonna do? It says that write a function rule that describes the operator's income after increasing his rate. 35 pesos BX and charges a flat rate of 500 pesos. So 500 pesos original rate for that. The numbers of passengers originally was 33, so 33 passengers originally. For every 35 pesos increased, he will lose 10 passengers. Let's do his rate first before the passengers. Let's do rate. Fx equals to R. R equals to, what was the original rate? 500 plus, for every 35 pesos increase, so 35 pesos increase will be 35x. Now we have his new rate. Now we have to find the new rate of his passengers after the increase. Fx b p p will be, what was the original passengers? It was 33 passengers minus 10, as he will lose 10 passengers every time he increased it. So 10 minus 10x. We have his rate of his fare. Passenger count. So from that, we can get his income. Let's make fx equals to I, which is his income. I would be R multiplied by P. It's because passengers and the rate or flat rate have a correlation. So every passenger pays a price. For that, I will be 100 plus 35x multiplied by 33 minus 10x, 500 multiplied by 33 and multiplied by 10x. 35 multiplied by 33, 35 multiplied by 10x. 500 multiplied by 33, 0, drop a 0, drop a 5, add 1 to 5 to 6, drop down 1. So we get the next step is 500 multiplied by negative 10x. 5000x. Next step 35x multiplied by 33. So drop down 5, drop down 5, drop down 1, drop down 1. So 1155x. 35x multiplied by negative 10x. So 35 times 10 is 350. 50. But we have 2 x's. So what do we do if we have 2x? We get x squared. X squared. So we arrange it. Negative 350x squared minus 5,000 plus 1,005x. Negative 3,845x plus 1,600. 500. So that is our function rule for every time you increase that by 35 pesos. Very easy. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
I just wanna be part of your symphony. We hold me tight and not let go. Symphony, like a love song on the radio. We hold me tight and not let go.
Thank you, Professor Sean, for explaining question 3. Next is question 4. Nai and Riri played a guessing game. Nai was asked to think of a positive number. Add 3 to the number, square the resulting number, multiply the result by 4, and divide the result by 2. If 9 gets a result of 200, find the inverse function to determine the original number. Let us have Professor Ina to explain question number 4.
Hello class, this is Professor Ina here. So you have your question number 4. Nai and Rino played a guessing game. Nai was asked to think of a positive number. So we can denote that positive number as x. Let x be the unknown positive number. Then add 3 to the number. So add 3, meaning x plus 3. We're going to square this x plus 3. So we put open and close parentheses, x plus 3 squared. Multiply the result by 4 and divide the result by 2. There we go. So here is our equation. Now if Nai gets a result of 200, find the inverse to determine the original number. For this number, it is an inverse function. Why? Because we are being asked of the original input while knowing the output already, as it says here. If Nai gets a result of 200, that's the y value. Find the inverse function to determine the original number. This is why we are going to interchange the x and y values as part of the solution to determine the original input. This will be f of x is equal to this one. 4 times x plus 3 squared over 2. We know that f of x can also be written as y. So f of x is equal to y. So let's rewrite this y. So y is equal to 4 and then close x plus 3 squared over 2. We interchange x and y values. This is where the inverse happens. Interchange x and y. Now this becomes x. So wait a minute, it's moving. So x is equal to 4. Now x here, since we interchange them, x will become y now. So 4 open and close y plus 3 squared over 2. We want to get rid of the denominator. So we divide both sides by 2. Oh, just a note here, we don't divide them, but we multiply them by 2. Side note, get rid of the denominator by multiplying both sides by 2. This gets cancelled out. So now we have 2 times x. 2x is equal to, so 4 y plus 3 squared. There we go. And the next step is we divide both sides. We need to isolate x plus 3 squared on one side. So how do we do that? We divide both sides by 4. we divide both sides by 4. There we go. Isolate y plus 3 squared on one side of the equation. So we cancel 4 and 4. The 2x over 4. Zoom that a little bit. Is equal to 4 gets cancelled out. So we have y plus 3 squared. There we go. And now we will square both sides by 2. To get rid of the exponent, we need to remove this exponent here. So let's do it. 2x over 4 is equal to y plus 3 squared. Now we square both sides. There we go. Now the exponent here gets eliminated. We will now have square root of y plus 3 is just y plus 3. And 2x over 4, that would be x is equal to 2. 4 squared is 2, while 2 squared is 1. Not here. Isolate y on one side. How do we do that? So we transpose 3, this 3 here, to the other side and it will become negative. So y plus 2, we will write y here. Okay? So now, by transposing y on the other side, it will become negative. So we have x over 2 minus 3 is equal to y. Since we have solved for y, then we can write it as f raised to negative 1 of x. Then we rewrite x over 2 minus 3. Next step is to square this x. The square root of x over 2 minus 3 is equal to f raised to negative 1 of x. Since we already replaced y by this function, we are ready. Wait, now this is the function, the inverse function. Now, according to the given, if nai gets a result of 200, find the inverse function to determine the original number. So we will replace x by 200. There we go. So here's our inverse. Replace x by 200 as the given suggests. 200 divided by 2 first, that's 100. Minus 3, let's just rewrite. And now we square 100. 100 squared is equal to 10. Because, you know, 10 times 10, that's 1. Wait a minute. That's 100, you see. So, square root of 10, that's... square root of 100, that's 10. So, minus 3. 10 minus 3 is equal to... There we go, just rewrite this. 10 minus 3, that's 7. And that's the answer. The answer is 7. So, na is original number. Na is original number. A 7. Thank you everyone. Again, this is Professor Ina. I hope you learned something from today's lesson. Class dismissed.
Thank you so much, Ina, for that amazing explanation. And if you guys have any questions of question 4, or if you are confused, just go to her. She's very amazing. Also, Sean. Now, for question 5. Nato can paint a wall in 8 hours, but Lily needs only 4 hours to paint the same wall. How long does it take to paint the wall if they work together? A. Compute for how much of the job they do in an hour. Let us have Professor Nika to explain question number 5 for us.
So, we have our given here, which is 8 and 4. That will give us 1 over 8 plus 1 over 4 equals to 1 over x. Keep a note that x is the value that we are looking for. So, first we must find the least common denominator. If we look at our given, we will start with 8 and 4. Now, since we have both of the least common denominator, we can stop here. Our equation will be 8x 1 over 8 plus 8x 1 over 4 equals to 8x 1 over x. So how do we solve for this equation? If we solve for this, it will give us 8 over 8 which is basically 1. So we have our first number. To solve for this, 8x over 4, that will simply give us 2x. And to solve for 8x over x, we cancel out the x and that will leave us with 8. So that will give us 3x equals to 8. Our answer will be x is equals to 8 over 3. But that isn't our final answer. We have to turn this into decimal first. 2.66. We can simplify this to 2.7. Our final answer will be they do 2.7 of the chalk in an hour. And that will be our final answer. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
Now that is all. Thank you so much for listening to Group OA. And if you have any questions, please email us or send a DM. We would like to help you how to answer these questions. Again, thank you so much and see you next time.